Hello and welcome to this Introduction to Sanskrit Part 2, Vowels in the Devanagari alphabet. It may be helpful before I go any further that I might clarify the contrast between Sanskrit and Hindi. They both use the Devanagari alphabet, but there are some significant differences between the two. Hindi and Sanskrit are different languages and have different rules concerning the pronunciation of words. My own pronunciation of Sanskrit follows the principles established by various authors such as Perry, which is our textbook, Whitney in his grammar, Müller, and so forth. And this is not identical to the pronunciations in contemporary Hindi. Hindi has changed the pronunciation of some of the vowels. It has made some additions to the alphabet. It has very different rules concerning the combination of various letters and both consonants and vowels. And so I do not follow the rules of Hindi, but those that have been established as the rules for Sanskrit. An interesting contribution that Hindi makes is that it includes new letters in the Devanagari alphabet, and so we can assume that the sounds represented by those letters were not present originally in Sanskrit. Now, I said in the last video that Devanagari, that is the writing, is a North Indian adaptation of Brahmi, which goes back to Aramaic, which goes back to ancient Semitic. And what distinguishes that line of development is that it has no separate letters for vowels. Well, somewhere along the line, Devanagari decided not to follow those rules, and it has both vowels that are independent and are regular separate letters, which you usually find at the beginning of words, as well as diacritic marks, which are inserted into the combinations of consonants in the middle or at the end of a word. So for now, we're going to look at those vowels that have a life of their own, so to speak. Most of the vowels come in a short and a long version, as is true for many languages. We begin with the typical Indo-European sounds. There is the A and the A, which of course are the long and short versions of the letter A. They're pronounced A, as in come, or A for the long one, as in car. Then there is the I, pronounced I, as in it, and the long version is E, as in see. Here is the U, the short version, O, as in pot, the longer version, U, as in shoe, except you keep the lips a little bit tighter together from the English shoe. Instead it's shoe. U. Now, what you see here looks like the letter R, which we usually think of as a consonant. But this is a vowel, And even though it has some relationships to the R grammatically, this is considered a vowel. This is re, and the long version is ri. Then we have the letter L, which again is considered a vowel. So we have the short vowels a, e, o, re, L, and the long ones a, I, U, re. Now, the following letters are considered diphthongs, and that usually means that you have two vowels coming together, and that may be in the history of these particular letters, but at this point they are all represented with just one symbol. This is A. You put a feather in its cap, as it were, and you have I, which at least in transliteration is a diphthong. A, I. This is O. What you see here is the short version of the letter A, but again there is a line springing out on top of the bar here, and it turns into O. If you double the lines coming out, it is Au in Sanskrit. In Hindi it would be A, but it probably was pronounced in ancient times as Au. So here we are, A, E, O, Re, L, A, I, U, Re, E, I, O, Au. Once more, A, A, E, I, O, U, Re, Re, L, E, I, O, Au.